Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. In early February, 3 Sikhs who had been in prison for 3 years already, Ranjit Singh, Surjit Singh and Arvinder Singh, were sentenced to life in prison. They were convicted under colonial-era laws under Section 121 for waging war against the state and 121A for preparing to wage war against the state. These unprecedented convictions, which have outraged human rights activists and lawyers, were solely on the basis of these 3 Sikhs possessing literature, which included the biography of Shaheed by Sukhdev Singh Babbar, possessing photographs of the Tera Shaheed of the 1978 anti-Nirankari protests, and books that advocated Khalistan as a solution for oppression of Sikhs in India. The difference between the actual judgment and the media reporting demonstrates the underlying bias the Indian state, its judiciary, its media, its academia has when it comes to discussing Khalistan or any issue related to Sikh sovereignty. These Sikhs were not members of any banned organization. None of the literature they possessed was illegal. They had not broken any laws or committed any crimes. Their sentencing has shocked lawyers. This judgment is purely political. It shows that the Indian state will criminalize any effort that a Sikh makes to understand the conditions of oppression of Sikhs within India and how Khalistan is a solution for the numerous issues facing Sikhs since the formation of India in 1947. This judgment shows how the Indian judiciary and the state is prejudiced against the very notion of freedom for Sikhs. The underlying logic of this judgment shows that having books on Khalistan means that you believe in Khalistan, and these books can be used to inspire others to believe in Khalistan, which would lead to the formation of Khalistan. According to the Indian judiciary, for a Sikh to understand the conditions of their oppression and the conditions within which freedom is required is itself a criminal act. Indian public discourse has been poisoned by decades of propaganda. Propaganda that presents Khalistan as terrorism and extremism. Propaganda that justifies the genocide of our people. Indian state machinery, its police, its media, academia, judiciary and security forces have been complicit in suppressing Sikh dissent and criminalizing our very existence and our pursuit of sovereignty. On March 9th, Sikh Jathebandiyan organized a protest to support these 3 Sikhs and to protest against the ongoing injustices committed in India. This protest was carried out in solidarity with the Kashmiri people and other religious minorities that are facing persecution within India. What made this protest different was a counter-protest was organized by the Indian High Commission. And this counter-protest made no sense at all. In fact, there's no reason for a counter-protest to take place. The counter-protest was actually supporting Hindutva and Indian fascism and the oppression of our people, because the protests that were taking place from the Sikhs and the Kashmiris were against human rights violations, decades of oppression, the occupation of our land, and the criminalization of our resistance. This counter-protest showed that the Indian state will go to extreme lengths in order to manufacture resistance to legitimate human rights concerns and the legitimate struggle and pursuit of our sovereignty and our freedom from the enclosure of the Indian state. It's vital that we continue organizing and educating our youth about our ityas. Ityas that the Indian state is making illegal because it reminds us that we're a sovereign people and we can never exist within the conditions of gulami. By honoring our shaheeds and celebrating our ityas, we keep our spirit of sovereignty and our resistance alive. Raj karega Khalsa, Aki rahe na koi. Khalistan Zindabad. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
They didn't like that one, huh? This guy works for the embassy. Hey!
Stop touching me.
Hey! Get away from me, bro! Get off him! 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 Get off him!
Where's the police? They punched me! They punched me!